Hi, and thank you for joining me for this week's Session Spotlight. My name is Matt Murphy, the Government Regional Affairs Director for the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce, and welcome. We have about 20 days left in this legislative session, and the number of bills still in play has dramatically decreased after the House of Origin cutoff. We have yet to see any budget bills, but the legislature has been busy hearing and implementing new tax bills. So let's move on to this week's Session Spotlight. But before we do, I want to thank the Tire Factory, Hayden Homes, and Great Northwest Transport for their support of this video series as policy engagement partners. This week, we are going to talk about three bills. House Bill 2355, establishing labor protections for domestic workers. Senate Bill 6173, creating an Apple Health Employer Assessment. And Senate Bill 6346, establishing a tax on millionaires. So let's get started. House Bill 2355 aims to establish new labor protections for domestic workers in private homes, including nannies, house cleaners, caregivers, gardeners, and household managers. This bill creates new compliance requirements for households or small employers, could impose additional costs if employers must pay overtime, severance, or penalties for noncompliance, expands anti-discrimination obligations, and adds clarity on expectations when hiring domestic help by requiring written agreements. Senate Bill 6173 would create a new Apple Health Employer Assessment, which is a fee that certain big employers must pay to help fund Washington's Health Care Affordability Account. The bill would currently apply to businesses with 100 or more employees, assess a fee of $607 per month for each employee on Apple Health, and apply to employers even if employees opt out of the company-provided health plans. Senate Bill 6346 creates a new millionaires tax by adding a 9.9% Washington tax tied to the federal adjusted gross income with a $1 million standard deduction, so the tax is aimed at income above that level. Taxes would apply to income from pass-through entities such as S corporations, LLCs, and partnerships. It contains no administrative protections for the lowering of that income limit, and it does provide some tax relief for small businesses. So now to check up on a few bills we've talked about in the past, let's start with House Bill 2105 concerning immigrant worker protections. This bill has passed out of the House and is scheduled for an executive session in the Senate Labor and Commerce Committee. House Bill 2274, modifying the Washington Commercial Electronic Mail Act. This bill also has passed out of the House and is heading to committee action in the Senate. And finally, House Bill 1155, prohibiting non-competition agreements and clarifying non-solicitation agreements. House Bill 1155 is off to the Senate, where it has both a public hearing and an executive session already scheduled. That wraps up this week's Session Spotlight. Thank you for joining us. You can learn more information on these bills and others at the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce Legislative Advocacy website at www.tricityregionalchamber.com.